Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Yahya in this incarnation. Tomorrow we have the moon entering in Aquarius until February 27th, which enters in Pisces, and then the new moon occurs. So at the time it enters in Aquarius, it is going to make a conjunction with Pluto that is already there, and this encourages us to face our fears in the face of change, but also to transform aspects of us that are preventing us from changing our reality. Well, this moon, it is going to make a trine with Jupiter, and this could reinforce our confidence in the process, but also in the decisions that we have to assume and that we have already identified that they have a divine purpose. These are minor aspects, but I like to talk about them because is part of the day to day. So as we know, Jupiter in Gemini is also receiving tensions this week, first of all because of the new moon, and then the sun is going to perfect this transit. So what happens in here, it is that Jupiter in Gemini, it is this amplificator of thoughts and beliefs that we already have, and if they are producing imbalances, it is also an opportunity to discern, to create discernment of what it isn't serving anymore. Beyond that, the moon in Aquarius, it has this capacity of emotional detachment that in balance, it is something very positive and very useful at this moment, especially when we have all this tendency to emotionality, and for some people even to take decisions from our their emotions only, which is not a good idea because we could feel something as we could feel we could have pleasure about an experience and not necessarily it is something good for us. We could have fear of something that is evolutionary and can produce growth. We could feel pain in taking a decision that contributes, but either way it causes us sadness. But also we could attach to pain and staying in a limited space. So what I'm trying to say, it is that the emotion is integrated, is accepted. We allow ourselves to feel them, but also we bring light to them. We are conscious about how we are channeling them to express them in the best way, to not hurt ourselves or others. Although, we are human beings and we are imperfect, but it is also about knowing what they are communicating when they are being activated by punctual actual situations or decisions that we need to approach. But this thing of giving space to them, it is a key, because many people are like pushing or judging their emotions, like I shouldn't be feeling this, I shouldn't be feeling this way, I shouldn't get angry because of this thing. And it is totally valid to feel whatever thing that we are feeling, but then later when we are we have to observe what we are going to do with that from the best place that we can. So the energy of the conjunction between Mercury and Saturn that is perfected tomorrow, it is actually this opportunity, it is a choice. I already talked about the shadows and lights of this transit. Conjunctions are a fusion of the planets right there. So it is a choice how we are going to channel that energy. And here we have the opportunity to take responsibility for what we are doing with what we are feeling. And also to give a space to the understanding from the soul, that goes beyond our mind, and also to give order to things, because that is also Saturn. And the thing is that both the excess of rationality as much as the rejection of that produce imbalances. And the fact that the North Node is in Pisces right now, and all of us, we are called to integrate a new level of spiritual elevation, to recognize that everything operates under the consciousness of unity, that the energetical planes are totally connected with the material reality. That doesn't mean that we don't need the mind or that it is not important. That would be a big mistake. It does mean that there will be processes, or we could be going through processes in which we are not going to have all the explanations for everything, and we will have to trust in our intuition. It does mean that if our mind is operating in limited paradigms, we are going to have to leave them behind and even deal with the crisis that represents for the mind, for the rational mind, that things are not fitting in what rational mind believes to know, which is not the same as knowing. Believes to know. All of these things doesn't mean going into the other polarity, which is self-deceit. Because not everything that we want to believe is real. A person that is sustaining an abusive relationship of any kind, because this is not restricted to romantic relationships of any kind. I've seen this in family members, in whatever thing. So the person that is attaching to that, believing that that person will change, my love will change that person, it is telling to himself or herself a deceit. Other example could be, staying in a place that it is not creating growth and it is not inspiring us, and expecting life to be different. And many times life makes us the favor to take us away from those spaces, but not every time in the ways that we would like to. Another expression is to expect that a person or an external entity save us from our own rectification, or vice versa, we saving other people from doing what they have to do. That is the shadow of Neptune in Pisces, because if this energy is telling us that we are all a unity, in order to produce a great change, everyone from their roles have to approach their own path, have to do their own part. And that begins with our immediate life, and that extends to our purpose and to everything else. So what I do can confirm, and I think that many people can do so in this practice of aligning with themselves, or in this practice of aligning with oneself, it is that when we are doing our part with genuinely will of transcendence and growth, without expecting anything else from life. And I think that this is one of the greatest challenges. I think many people have been there. I have been there. I mean, many times we could ask, to universe, which is the reward for doing what is correct with our soul, to our soul, and therefore correct for the environment. And this waiting for the reward is actually an extension of this childish desire of external approval. But when we are truly surrendering to what it is, which is the power of Pisces, this is about, I am going to surrender to this wave, I am going to surrender to the divine current that is going through ourselves. When we can do that, paradoxically, life brings us the opportunities, the miracles are manifested, the tiny and the big achievements that come from following our own soul with courage. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next video.